Now, that leads us to our next question. Serial killers are a very unique animal within humanity or in humanity. Let's bring in forensic psychologist and visiting scholar at Boston College, Gary Brucato. It's good to have you, Gary. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
I bet you share the same perspective, right? Ray Tierney is like from a bygone era of just the facts. You know, he's got that Dragnet vibe to him, and it's refreshing, you know, given how much hype we see with these guys being more politician than policeman these days. But
absolutely,
Rex Heuermann is winding up to be a real curveball to us. You know, at first it seemed like, well, maybe this is not the kind of guy who's usually a serial killer. But have you ever seen anything like that planning document that they found?
Actually, there was very little in the planning document that was surprising to me as someone with expertise in serial sexual homicide. Most serial killers are men who repetitively kill victims, usually women or children, for sexual purposes. And the idea is that there is usually the playing out of a very meticulous fantasy that is about repetitively taking revenge against someone who has hurt you, asserting dominance, control over someone, whether it's women, people who mocked you, a family member, mother, father, etc. And those fantasies start pretty young, and they ultimately get enacted. They spill over into acting out. It's very interesting because I've always thought that in repetitively killing women, these kinds of guys are really repetitively killing the same person symbolically and perfecting it over and over like a director that's trying to get the movie perfect. Yes.
But Doc, didn't you notice that with the information that we have right now, there's almost nothing to motive. There's almost nothing emotional in it. It's all checklists that seem to be designed to allow him to do this as much as possible.
Correct.
I mean, it seems like it's more the architect in him than it is the monster in him that is making that document.
Well, what the documents suggest is that there was some degree of torture. And so the stimulation would be associated with probably keeping a female victim for some time and engaging in all kinds of acts. For example, there's a reference in the document to one victim who is hanged and the rope snaps because it's not done properly. And there are references to toys and wooden objects and things which imply to me that there was a process of torture that would have involved tools and instruments that were part of a fantasy that was being played out over and over again. Usually this kind of offender records this in some way. They either have an extremely good visual memory for it, or they're photographing it or filming it or drawing it. And we do see reference to photographic material also there, which is very important when understanding that the motive is essentially to get a thrill from perfecting the bringing to life of a sexual violent fantasy over and over again. And these men are very prolific.
Prolific. All right. So that's the last question. I really appreciate you, Doc. The question for me is not just as a local, right? Because literally the last two victims were found in my backyard, figuratively, okay? We do know that serial killers sometimes take time off, okay?
Right.
What is your suspicion has been going on since 2014? Do you think he stopped, or do you think we're going to learn whether he decides to talk, as they sometimes do, because they're very braggadocious, or through just forensic and police work? Do you think he kept killing?
Well, if Heuermann is guilty, the average age of at which one starts to commit this kind of offense is about 26. And there are these cooling off periods that can come between the offenses, but they don't tend to be years. Usually the person goes on and on and on until captured or eliminated in some other way. I will tell you also that in this case, because this person took such measures to conceal, learning from other offenders and learning how to outpace the science, he evolved. And so he starts out with dismemberment, which I can tell you from my own research is mostly done to get rid of evidence. That's why you get rid of tattoos, the hands, the head, fingerprints, things like that. You butcher those, and then eventually he clearly got bolder and then started keeping the victims in a pile somewhere to visit. probably to visit or to reminisce or to feel as if he possessed them. But originally, what it looks like is he was just eliminating them to avoid capture. I think he would have been very prolific. The average number of victims for this kind of offender is 12.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.